they ether, bro. They wasn't in it. They wasn't in it for the spiritual connection, bro.
What up, world? J Tuck here. So, what was said in this video, in this stitch, was that a lot of people are cutting their locks because of the wave, and because, you know, they really wasn't in it for the spiritual growth. They were in it because it was just a fashion, it was just a trend. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with that a whole 100%. I believe a lot of people that grew their locks only did it because they had people around them or their favorite artists were growing their locks or were growing hair at the time. And now that that wave is over and everybody wants to, you know what I'm saying, get their hair cut, just like when everybody wanted to get the 4 cornrows or the 4 braids at the top and then shave the rest of it off. Like, all of these things are waves. And like, if you guys aren't in it for the long run and you guys make a decision based off a trend or a fashion, especially when it comes to hair and locks, which is a spiritual thing and it's a lifestyle, which the real lifestyle is Jah Rastafari. So like, if you know, don't have to always dabble in that, but because the Jah Rastafari religion, they don't get lineups, they don't get retwists, they only wash their hair with natural products and so on. But for the ones that only did it as a trend, thank you for cutting your hair. From me to you, thank you for cutting your hair. We don't need people like y'all that are just here for a season, is what I call it. Just for a fashion trend. Now, I've cut my hair several times for different reasons. And the reasons are because I wanted to try something else. I wanted longer, thicker locks. There have been other reasons on why I've cut these. But since about 2015 and 2016, I've had these here. When it comes down to locks, it's a lifestyle, to be honest with you. Whether you like it or not. What I was saying, when it comes to locks, it's a lifestyle, whether y'all believe it or not. And as you see, it's time for me to get a retwist. And because I'm always got a scully on because it's wintertime and stuff like that, like the guy says in the video, my locks actually keep my ears covered. It keeps me warm. I can wrap it around my neck, so that way, you know, as a scarf type shit, like it'll keep my neck warm. And a lot of people don't realize that if you protect your neck, you know, like my wife would say, if you protect your neck, you know, the chances of you getting sick decrease. So, you know, locks, you can also look at your locks and tell whether you are sick or not. I don't know if a lot of locticians and a lot of people with locks know that, but yeah, you can definitely tell a person's health by their locks. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, you can just tell the strength. A lot of people used to say you cutting your strength and stuff like that. I don't necessarily believe that, but it does protect you in certain ways. So we can use the word strength if you want to when you're talking about locks. Another pet peeve, or one pet peeve of mine, is when uneducated people that have these locks consider them dreads. And I know that there's a thing of dreadlocks, but when you're in it for a lifestyle and a culture, we don't consider these dreads. There's nothing dreadful about this. You dig what I'm saying? And I've been woofing it for a while, you know what I mean? Wife says she likes it, you know. I've been wanting to cut it for a minute now, but when it comes to my locks, my wife always says either way, it's always a choice or a decision of our own. But let's normalize and let's bring back the history of actual locks, so that way the people that make these decisions to get locks know the history before doing so, and not just for fashion sense. I don't really like the fake locks that the women get. It's just unnatural. I don't like weave. I'm a natural person. My wife is a natural person. My daughters are natural people. Now, has my wife ever wore weave? Yes, of course. But that's not the argument here. When we're addressing locks and we're talking about people doing it as a fashion, I think that that is diabolical, and I think that it should never be done again. But as you know, we got a new generation coming up, so history will repeat itself. It's just a word to the wise. If you guys do decide to grow locks, make sure it's for the right reason. make sure it's not just a fashion statement, because it doesn't matter what trend is in and what trend is out. You're gonna see J Tuck always with these. And that's just my 2 cents. Y'all keep the change. J Tuck out.